Keep them hashtags, you know I see ya. Talk about you the best, people never heard of ya. It's all about the punchlines, you know they clever. Okay, this is the review and podcast of what happened on Monday Night Raw, February 20th, 2017. This Raw felt a little flat, in my opinion. It really did. It really felt like, it wasn't the Raw from last week that was coming off the heels of Elimination Chamber. Even though that wasn't their pay-per-view, SmackDown had a really good show for Elimination Chamber, and I can understand that Raw wanted to counteract of what Elimination Chamber did and have a really good show with Bayley and Charlotte in the main event for the WWE Women's title, Raw Women's title, we'll say. But this week it was kind of flat. I really feel like it was really flat this time. The highlight of the night, what I would say, was the Big Show versus Braun Strowman. Very physical match. I really liked this match. These two went at it just like two giants going at each other. And when was the last time that you saw Big Show have a really good match, like main event, really good match on Raw? And these two brought the best out of each other. And I feel like this is like the passing of the torch between the Big Show and Braun Strowman, older generation, younger generation, the two big men and everything. And it was a good physical match, I thought they were going to show Big Show doing a superplex with Braun Strowman, but Braun Strowman did knock Big Show off, and then Braun Strowman went for, I think, a double axe handle. I think that's what he was going for, but then he got hit. KO punch. Big Show went for the cover, but Braun Strowman kicked out. Braun Strowman then picked him up, but had a little trouble picking him up for the power slam on the shoulders. Big Show kicked out at 2. Braun Strowman picked him back up. Looked like he picked him up a lot better this time, like with ease. Got him on his shoulders, slammed him on the mat. Got the 1, 2, 3. The lowest point of this is that right after he got the 3 count, Roman Reigns music hit. He comes out. I don't know what's going on with this whole Roman Reigns thing. I know a lot of people are just all, a lot of people feel like that they're just trying to shove Roman Reigns down our throats. Honestly, Roman Reigns had a match earlier in the night. He went against Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, the tag team champions, and he beat them. And I don't know if this is a way of trying to make Roman Reigns look strong again, like people said before, but in my opinion, I feel like Braun Strowman has to win at Fastlane because keep the momentum up. Keep this big guy who's dominating everybody, just keep that going. Have him dominate Roman Reigns. Go into WrestleMania as the big guy that's just unstoppable. The second point that I want to say that was of the night was the opening segment with Kevin Owens explaining himself why he went and did what he did to Chris Jericho. And I understand Kevin Owens really, this whole friendship thing between him and Chris Jericho has been fun. It has been fun. But Kevin Owens hasn't really established himself as the main event player, being the Universal Champion, because he hasn't really done, a whole lot to say, hey, I'm prestigious. He has, defended the title, but a lot of matches had Chris Jericho interfere. And yeah, people will say he's the heel. Of course that's going to happen, so he keeps his title. But Kevin Owens hasn't established himself as the dominant figure. And I feel like, I understand why he turned on Chris Jericho. I understand, get that heel, persona, get the heat, everything. He's going against Goldberg at Fastlane. Maybe he has a plan to defeat Goldberg at Fastlane. But then he says he's going to do what Brock Lesnar was not able to do. And, he said Brock Lesnar was taking Goldberg too lightly, which brings us to the interview between Michael Cole, who was interviewing Brock Lesnar, and Paul Heyman, and then they just ran Michael Cole off. Brock Lesnar proceeded to sit where the camera was at so everybody just sees him. Narrating behind him was Paul Heyman. He even explained that this is Kevin Owens reestablishing himself. And, they didn't really agree with what Kevin Owens said, that, they took Goldberg lightly and everything. And, honestly, I would if Kevin Owens loses his title at Fastlane to Goldberg and Goldberg goes into WrestleMania, you know what a good match would be? It would be Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar. Put Kevin Owens in there. Just throw it in there. Make it a 3-way. That's what I think they should do. It's understandable that Kevin Owens is going to go against Chris Jericho at WrestleMania. I understand that, but still, this creates an opportunity of a good match. Kevin Owens has this charisma of like how he acts in the ring and how he can just feed off of everybody. He's a very good wrestler. So, we'll see what happens after Fastlane, what they're going to do with that whole thing. But it's pretty sure that it's going to be Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, and Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens at WrestleMania as well. This Raw was just flat. I mean, you got Jinder Mahal and Rusev and Lana stealing the New Day's ice cream plans, and I don't know what's going on with that whole thing. I'm just not interested in that. I feel like it was a mistake for Akira Tozawa to be brutalized by Brian Kendrick. I understand that Brian Kendrick's trying to have the heel side of, listen to me, I'm your friend, I'm the one that's looking out for you, but you're not listening to me or anything like that. I understand that. But I just don't get it. I don't think they should have done that. One of the matches was the number one contendership for the WWE RAW Tag Team Championships was Enzo Amore and Big Cass versus Cesaro and Sheamus. And even this, I feel like Enzo and Cass, their whole team of like what they're doing and everything, I feel like it's kind of getting flat with the crowd now, because Enzo got the mic after they won. They got the number one contendership. Enzo got the mic, started saying a bunch of stuff to Sheamus. Sheamus kicked him. He went down. Crowd was saying thank you, Sheamus. So I'm thinking that this is an indication of that the crowd is kind of slowly just not feeling it anymore. Other than that, you had Mick Foley, who stood up to Stephanie McMahon in the back. Then Stephanie McMahon had that whole Bayley segment where Charlotte Flair had a bunch of demands about, Bayley didn't win the title on her own, but we saw what happened. We know about Dana Brooke and everything, but hey, let's just go with the storyline. Bayley says she's not giving it up. Sasha Banks came out. Charlotte Flair came out. They had their old, they were going back and forth with each other. They had a match with each other as well. A lot of people felt like it dragged on, and I kind of feel it. It wasn't as good as Charlotte and Bayley from last week's main event, but hey, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens at Fastlane. Nia Jax had a match as well. She went against a jobber name of Sarah Pierce. Yeah, Nia Jax won. Other than that, this Raw just kind of felt flat. I mean, Kevin Owens went against Sami Zayn, but Sami Zayn, had choice words for Samoa Joe before Samoa Joe attacked him. Understand that. But this is before the match. Sami Zayn went in. Kevin Owens just basically showed that he's going to, go against anybody, and doesn't matter if they're beat down or anything. He's going to beat them down as well. He gave Sami Zayn the Chris Jericho treatment like he did last week. So other than that, this whole Raw was okay. It wasn't the best. It wasn't as good as last week. But another high for me personally was the next inductee into the Hall of Fame, and that is Diamond Dallas Page. And Diamond Dallas Page deserves it. I've watched Diamond Dallas Page ever since WCW Monday Nitro, since like 95. And he has a very good career. He's always been a very good worker. And I feel like he deserves it. He's done so much, and he's done so much for the community of wrestling. So, congratulations to him. But other than that, that was my review of Raw. It was okay. I just say it's okay. But if you guys like what you hear, make sure you like and subscribe as well, and I will see you guys next time.